The black crystal that I got from that black beetle. Could it also be the life essence of some super creature? Hansen thought about it and defeated his own theory. The black crystal didn't melt like the life essence of the golden growler. Otherwise it was so small that it would be gone by now. The black crystal did not change a bit. Hansen did not have too much time to think. Holding the life essence, whenever he felt he could eat again, he would suck on the golden crystal until he was stuffed. Hearing the voice sounding in his mind again and again, Hansen felt that must be the happiest thing in life. Hansen thought that his trip was totally worth it at this point. It took Hansen more than a week to finish the entire block of life essence, and he got 10 super Geno points, which surprised Hansen. He hesitated and flew away from the island. Since he could not kill the baby golden growler, he should not stay there anymore. As the golden growler grew faster and faster, he might end up getting killed by it. Luckily, Hansen had sacred blood wings. Otherwise, he would not even be able to cross the ocean. With his experience following the golden growler, Hansen learned how big and complicated the god's sanctuary was. Now he was taking extra care wherever he went. Hansen thought that his trip over the ocean might be highly risky. After all, he could no longer tell the directions on the ocean, and there were plenty of marine beasts. Although those beasts could not reach him in the sky, the sacred blood birds might endanger him. Maybe it was luck. Hansen flew for 2 days without running into any danger, and also killed a mutant fish, whose meat contributed 2 more mutant Geno points. At this point, Hansen had 86 mutant Geno points. More fortunately, Hansen even saw an island and a large modern ship next to it. Although there were no visible electronic equipment, Hansen could still tell from the material of the ship that it was a high-tech product. It even had the inscription Moon Goddess on it. However, the ship seemed to be gravely damaged and weathered. It must have been here for a long time. When Hansen came close, he no longer felt good about it. The island was neither big nor small. Hansen could see the entire island from the sky, but he did not notice any buildings. Landing on the island, Hansen took back on his beast souls and was ready to find somewhere to have a rest. Suddenly, he saw a person walking out from the jungle. Seeing Hansen, that person paused, waved to Hansen and ran over. The existence of human beings made Hansen felt better about the place. He believed this meant the place was not too far away from a civilized location. Although humans could teleport the parts of ships and piece them together in God's sanctuary, no ship had modern energy systems since no technologies could be used here, which was why all the ships could only sail in a small range. Hansen regarded the person, who was a 20-year-old young woman wearing a blue beast soul armor. She looked at Hansen excitedly. "Are you from Green Island?" the young woman asked with a trembling voice. "I'm sorry, I don't know where Green Island is." Hansen shook his head and wanted to ask the woman where he was. At this time, a few more persons ran from the jungle nearby. They were all about the same age as the woman. They were equally excited when seeing Hansen. Everyone was asking Hansen all kinds of questions, but the most frequent one was the woman's question. "Are you from Green Island?" "I am sorry, I am not from Green Island. I came from Steel Armor Shelter, suffered a shipwreck and ended up here. May I ask where I am?" Hearing Hansen's reply, these people suddenly became extremely disappointed. Very soon, Hansen followed them through the forest and arrived at a cave. Inside the cave there were many supplies produced in the Alliance. It was a large cave with bonfire inside, so it almost felt like camping. Hansen could tell that these people had been living here for a long time. They were more than a dozen people of the same age. From Hansen's perspective, these people were about the same age as King Xuan. But King Xuan only stayed in First God's sanctuary for a long time because she wanted to max out her sacred Geno points. These people obviously did not have the same intention. "Newbie, if you want to stay here, you must obey our rules and do your job. Otherwise we do not have extra food to waste on you," said a serious guy to Hansen. "There are plenty of creatures in the ocean and on the island, so I think I will be able to feed myself." Hansen smiled and said. The group watched Hansen with contempt, as if they had heard something funny. No one spoke though. It was as if they didn't even deign to mock him. "We are all unfortunate people. Here is a reminder, the Windend Island is full of danger. Do not wander around, otherwise you might lose your life." "What kind of danger?" asked Hansen in surprise. The guy did not speak, but a skinny guy next to him cut in. "There are sacred blood creatures on the Windend Island. Are you able to kill those?" "Sacred blood creatures? I did kill a few." Hansen laughed. "Boy, you should know who you are bragging to before you brag." "Do you know who we are?" said the skinny guy with his lips curled. "Have you heard about the Special Squad?" asked the skinny guy complacently. "You are members of the Special Squad." Hansen regarded the group in surprise. Hansen did not expect to meet people from the same organization on a desolate island. Such a coincidence. "I am also in the Special Squad. I wonder which shelter are you in charge of?" asked Hansen with a smile. "What? You're also a member of the Special Squad?" The skinny guy looked to Hansen in surprise. "My name is Hansen, head of Steel Armor Special Squad." Hansen told them his identity, which was no secret, so there was no point to hide it from them. "Are you kidding me? At your age, you would be lucky to become a member." "Head my ass." The skinny guy smirked and did not believe Hansen would be the head. He then pointed to the guy who spoke first and told Han Sen, "Boy, see. This is what a head looks like. This is our captain, Fu Shan. Hi, I am Han Sen from Steel Armor Special Squad. Which shelter are you from?" Han Sen felt lucky to meet members from the Special Squad. The skinny guy thought Han Sen was lying and became angry. Before he wanted to say something, Fu Shan stopped him. Fu Shan looked Han Sen up and down and said, "As far as I know, the head of Steel Armor Special Squad is King Xuan, and her deputy is Yang Manly. They're both ladies and there is no guy in the leadership. I have never heard of the name Han Sen. You must have been trapped here for more than half a year." Han Sen's gaze swept across the group. "So what?" The skinny guy stared at Han Sen and asked. "No wonder you did not know that King Xuan had gone to Second God's Sanctuary and I am the new head of Steel Armor Special Squad." Han Sen smiled and said. The woman whom Han Sen saw first suddenly looked at Han Sen and asked, "You should know King Xuan very well then." "Yes," Han Sen thought about it and nodded. "Then you must know what was behind her left ear," the woman asked slowly. The whole group was watching Han Sen, awaiting his reply. "If I remember correctly, there is nothing behind King Xuan's left ear, but a small red birthmark behind her right ear," said Han Sen casually. He had been in numerous combats with King Xuan and knew this very well. Fu Shan and everyone else looked to the woman. Obviously, they didn't know whether Han Sen was telling the truth either. The woman let out a sigh of relief. "You're right. King Xuan does have a small red birthmark behind her right ear. However, she usually covers it with her hair, so ordinary people would not be able to see that." The woman said to Han Sen, "Although I'm not sure if you are really the head of the Special Squad, now I know you are indeed close to King Xuan." "Miss, are you also in the Special Squad?" Han Sen asked the woman. He believed that others were from the Special Squad because they looked like it. However, this woman did not. "My name is Zhu Ruyan. I'm sort of a client of the Special Squad," the woman said with a smile. Han Sen realized something and said, "So you're the one who hired them to sail here?" Zhu Ruyan smiled bitterly and said, "This is not our original destination. We were attacked by a giant sacred blood creature on our way and ended up here. We have been trapped here for about a year." Han Sen continued to ask, "Where is this place? Do you know how far we are from the nearest shelter?" The skinny guy named Liu Jai said, "It's pointless to ask that. Even if you could fly, you would not be able to get away from this place." "How so?" Han Sen was puzzled. When he came to the island, he did not find any advanced flying creatures. Maybe the group had believed that Han Sen was indeed one of the Special Squad. Liu Jai and Zhu Ruyan told Han Sen everything about their situation. There were indeed no flying creatures near this place, but there was a sacred blood marine beast wandering around the island, scaring them away from hunting creatures in the ocean. On the island, there was only one type of creature, which looked like gigantic bears. They moved swiftly and could even walk on the mountain walls. With a vertical eye on their foreheads, these creatures had incredible eyesight. They were mostly primitive creatures and few of them were mutant creatures. Their king was a sacred blood creature. The king of the ghost-eyed bears was much stronger and faster than others. It was almost impossible to hurt it and it had clever tactics, which made the Special Squad members feel quite helpless. All of them had to live on the wild plants and mushrooms in the forest, while avoiding the ghost-eyed bear group at the same time, which was why they were leading a hard life. In the beginning, they did not know how strong the ghost-eyed bears were and tried to hunt them down, which caused a great loss. They used to have nearly 30 members in the group, but after the fight, they only had a dozen people left. Yet the ghost-eyed bear king only lost a few primitive ghost-eyed bears. However, among the deceased, only one person belonged to the Special Squad. What surprised Han Sen was the fact that Zhu Ruyan was in the management of Starry Group. Han Sen also learned that they came from the Green Shelter on Green Island. Now they only knew that it took a ship half a month to arrive at Green Island from where they were. Other than the fact that Green Island was in the west, they had no idea where its specific location was. After all, after being attacked by the sacred blood marine beast, they were completely lost. Zhu Ruyan would not tell what they came here for, and being employed by Zhu Ruyan, the Special Squad could not leak the details of their mission either. However, Han Sen could tell that Zhu Ruyan was quite somebody, as they had been trapped on the island for a very long time. "Zhu Ruyan, I am also in the Special Squad. How about you and I make a deal?" asked Han Sen after learning everything. "We have ended up here. What deal can I possibly make?" Zhu Ruyan frowned. "I mean, while you're waiting on the island, don't you want to eat better?" Han Sen asked calmly. "You have food." Zhu Ruyan watched Han Sen, unable to see any possibility of him carrying a large amount of food. "I don't have any food with me, but there is plenty of food on this island." Han Sen smiled and said, "You're thinking about the ghost-eyed bears. I think you should give up. I don't want to see anyone die." Zhu Ruyan was terribly disappointed in Han Sen's idea. If they had any chance at hunting the ghost-eyed bears, they wouldn't wait until this day. Zhu Ruyan did not even believe that Han Sen was the head of Steel Armor Special Squad. Even if he was, that would not change anything. Fu Shan was the head of a special squad and had a whole team with him. He did not have much chance against the ghost-eyed bear either. Being alone, Han Sen had no advantage whatsoever. Zhu Ruyan did not want to say anything to Han Sen anymore. She said she was tired and returned to her tent. Without actually seeing the ghost-eyed bears, Hansen suggested to hunt them, which left Zhu Ruyan with a terrible impression. Before Hansen could even suggest a deal, Zhu Ruyan expressed her distrust. But Hansen didn't care. When he had the meat of ghost-eyed bear, he believed Zhu Ruyan would beg for a deal. Zhu Ruyan must have a lot of resources to be able to hire the entire Green Special Squad. Hansen felt he was responsible to blackmail her in order to thank God for sending him here. In addition, Hansen hated everyone in Starry Group, and she would be no exception. Brother, you should be practical. Do not mess with ghost-eyed bear. Liu Jai patted Hansen on the shoulder and said. Obviously, members of Green's Special Squad did not believe Hansen could hunt ghost-eyed bears. They had been trapped on the island for a very long time and had a million strategies, yet none worked. The terrain on the Wind End Island was very complicated. With their strength and flexibility, the ghost-eyed bears could easily move around. The Sacred Blood Ghost-eyed Bear King and a dozen mutant ghost-eyed bears cost them a lot of good men when they had more people. Hansen alone would never make it. Hansen did not answer Liu Jai but asked Fu Shan. Tell me about it. Out of everyone's expectation, Fu Shan did not turn down Hansen directly. Captain, what's to talk about with this guy? Do not believe his words, said Liu Jai hurriedly. Hansen smiled and said, Fu Shan, since we are all in the special squad, how about we hunt the ghost-eyed bears together? Afterwards, I will take the meat of the Sacred Blood Ghost-eyed Bear, and we can share the rest half and half. What do you think? Fu Shan frowned. Hansen was being too arrogant indeed. He did believe Hansen had something special about him. Otherwise it would be impossible for him to come here alone. However, Hansen's words still made him cringe. Boy, you have no place to talk like that, said Liu Jai impatiently. Really? Hansen of course disagreed. When he just came to the island, he saw some of the ghost-eyed bears from the sky. Ghost-eyed bear was not a unique species to the island, and Hansen had seen them before. On the way he came here on the back of the golden growler. Hansen had seen a Sacred Blood Ghost-eyed Bear from a large group swallowed by the lion alive. The Sacred Blood Ghost-eyed Bear had no chance of survival in front of the golden growler. Hansen did not even know it was called Ghost-eyed Bear at the time being. Before being swallowed, the Sacred Blood Ghost-eyed Bear tried to resist, and Hansen had learned what it could do. Hansen left the cave and decided to hunt a ghost-eyed bear to show the group, especially Zhu Ruyan, so that he would be able to blackmail her. Are you really going to hunt the ghost-eyed bears? Asked Zhu Ruyan, standing in front of the cave. You could expect a ghost-eyed bear for lunch, but do think about what price you are willing to pay. Hansen waved at Zhu Ruyan without turning back and marched into the jungle. Fu Shan sighed. Although he thought Hansen was special, it was almost impossible for someone to survive the attack of the ghost-eyed bear group. Once noticed by the ghost-eyed bears, one was unlikely to run away. Last time, they had to sacrifice a dozen lives before they were able to get away. Zhu Ruyan saw Hansen disappear in the jungle and had complex emotions. She did not believe that Hansen could really hunt a ghost-eyed bear either. Other people thought Hansen was either mad or arrogant to hunt the ghost-eyed bear alone. If Hansen was not killed by the ghost-eyed bear, he would probably ask for food from them. After going into the jungle, Hansen followed a trail and sneaked into the habitat of the ghost-eyed bears. Before the deal was made, Hansen did not plan to wipe out the entire ghost-eyed bear group. He decided to kill one first and go back to negotiate. The ghost-eyed bear was around 6 feet tall and covered in brown fur like steel brush. With a vertical eye on its forehead, it was able to come and go easily on the mountain walls. In the mountains, Hansen shapeshifted into the color shifter silently. The ghost-eyed bears were moving around, while Hansen was lurking in the dark. His goal was a mutant ghost-eyed bear, which would make Zhu Ruyan more willing to pay. No wonder they were not able to kill any ghost-eyed bear. The terrain does not work in anyone's favor. They suddenly heard howling from the ghost-eyed bear's habitat. Did he really go? Exclaimed Liu Jai. They knew from the sound that the ghost-eyed bears had noticed the intruder. There was one howling after another, so it seemed that the entire group was chasing Hansen. It's a pity. He did not last too long. Zhu Ruyan sighed. The howling stopped after a long while. The group did not dare to stay out for long. Since the ghost-eyed bear group had been provoked by Hansen, it would be terribly dangerous for them to run into the bears. Zhu Ruyan and Fu Shan discussed briefly and decided to give up on looking for food, ready to go back to the cave. A mutant ghost-eyed bear. Not far from the cave, they suddenly saw a huge ghost-eyed bear, which scared everyone. People quickly summoned their beast souls and then found out the ghost-eyed bear did not move and was actually on someone's back. The person carried the dead ghost-eyed bear and walked toward them. Watching the ghost-eyed bear moving up and down as the person walked, everyone widened their eyes. It's the boy. He did not die, and really hunted a ghost-eyed bear, a mutant one. Liu Jai saw the person's face and exclaimed. The others were also shocked, unable to believe their eyes. Hansen was really able to hunt a ghost-eyed bear, and the mutant one, which was incredible. The first time they went, half of the people died and they were only able to kill some primitive ghost-eyed bears. Not a single mutant one was killed. The creature had incredible speed and strength. To kill one of them on the cliff was almost impossible. However, Han Sen alone hunted a mutant ghost-eyed bear back. Fu Shan looked Han Sen up and down and did not see a single injury on Han Sen's body, which surprised him even more. It was obvious from the howling that the entire ghost-eyed bear group was alarmed. But Han Sen still came back safe and sound, taking the body of a mutant ghost-eyed bear, which made him wonder how strong Han Sen must be to be able to achieve this. Miss Zhu, are you interested in a deal now? Han Sen scanned everyone's face and asked Zhu Ruyan. Very much so. Zhu Ruyan's eyes lit up. They were all trapped here for more than a year. In the beginning, they had some meat jerky to eat, and after that they had to go vegan. It had been a while since they had any taste of meat. Seeing the body of the dead ghost-eyed bear, they immediately thought of barbecue. Of course, Zhu Ruyan was thinking more than just this mutant ghost-eyed bear. Since Han Sen was able to kill a mutant creature so easily, it meant he could wipe out all the ghost-eyed bears. If he could do that, they could benefit from more than just the meat. In fact, they had been lying to Han Sen from the very beginning. Their destination was always this island because they wanted something here. They did, however, run into an accident on the sea. That part was true. After they got here, they were not able to get what they wanted because of the ghost-eyed bears. Surprisingly, Han Sen was strong enough to wipe out all the ghost-eyed bears, which was fantastic for Zhu Ruyan. Zhu Ruyan believed that someone would eventually come to their rescue. It was just a matter of time for the Starry Group to locate this island. If she was able to get what she wanted before they came, that would be the best. Otherwise, she would be no more than a failure. If she obtained that thing after the rescue team came, the credit would no longer be hers. Zhu Ruyan watched Han Sen with desire. Although she did not know how Han Sen achieved that, she believed his presence would work in her favor. So, Sen, what's the deal? Zhu Ruyan looked to Han Sen and softened her voice. How much do you want for this mutant ghost-eyed bear? As calculative as Zhu Ruyan, she would not easily expose her real objective. Zhu Ruyan was secretly thinking that it would be fine for her to pay a high price for this mutant ghost-eyed bear. She could even pay more for Han Sen to hunt a few more mutant ones. There were in total a dozen mutant ghost-eyed bears. As long as Han Sen killed them all, one sacred blood ghost-eyed bear would not be such a big threat to the group. According to market price, you can have it for 100 million, said Han Sen, narrowing his eyes. When the group heard the phrase market price, they were optimistic, because based on the market price, the meat of a mutant creature would be 2 to 3 million. Even he doubled it, that would be a small amount. However, Han Sen's price made her cringe. Liu Zhai opened his mouth wide and thought, a mutant creature for 100 million, what kind of market price is that? Han Sen, this is a bit too high. Even a rare mutant creature would only be marked 2 to 3 million on the market. Even if I am willing to pay you 10 times that price, that would be 20 to 30 million. Don't you think 100 million is too much? Zhu Ruyan frowned at Han Sen. You're right, outside this island, that is the market price. However, we are in a different place, so of course we have a different price. Here, the market price is 100 million each. If you think it's too expensive, that's fine as well. I will just keep it for myself. Zhu Ruyan did not care if she cannot eat the meat. As long as Han Sen could wipe out all the mutant ghost-eyed bears, she would be achieving her goal. Of course, I always have the same and fair price for everyone. Han Sen then looked to the Green Special Squad, and I did invite them to cooperate before. It is not my fault that they turned me down. Liu Zhai blushed when hearing Han Sen's words. He was the one who objected the most and thought Han Sen was a lunatic. Zhu Ruyan heard Han Sen's words and was secretly excited. She kept a straight face and snorted, Han Sen, aren't you afraid that everyone will turn on you? Or are you not in the special squad at all? Since Han Sen came back, Zhu Ruyan and her men were circling Han Sen and the mutant ghost-eyed bear. As Zhu Ruyan made a long face, her people were also staring at Han Sen. Obviously, Zhu Ruyan was trying to threaten Han Sen. Originally, she was afraid that Fu Shan and his team might help Han Sen. As Han Sen's answer probably pissed off the entire special squad, she believed that Fu Shan would take her side if there was a fight. After all, they were trapped on an island and had not had meat in a long time. Fu Shan should not reject working with Zhu Ruyan against Han Sen. 200 million. Han Sen came up with a price that doubled the last offer. He did not even raise an eyebrow, as if he did not hear Zhu Ruyan's threatening remark. Fu Shan, this kind of behavior would never come from someone in the special squad. We should control him and interrogate him, said Zhu Ruyan. Zhu Ruyan thought Fu Shan would work with her for sure. After all, the special squad members were also checking out the mutant ghost-eyed bear greedily, and they did not have any affection toward Han Sen either. To her surprise, Fu Shan shook his head and said, I have no idea whether he is in the special squad, and that doesn't concern me. Fu Shan ordered everyone on his team to step aside. It was obvious that he did not want to meddle in this matter, although his team members wondered why Fu Shan made the decision. They had a lot of trust in their captain and followed his order. Zhu Ruyan was dumbstruck. Based on her understanding, Fu Shan was a rational person. Even if he did not want to harm Han Sen, he would agree to take the mutant ghost-eyed bear first. Fu Shan's decision forced Zhu Ruyan to reevaluate Han Sen. The only explanation for Fu Shan to make a decision like this was that Fu Shan did not believe they could beat Han Sen. So, it seems that you do not want to deal with me. Hansen picked up the mutant ghost-eyed bear. What are you doing? Zuruyun did not dare to try to stop Hansen. Since I'm not welcome here, I will find a place for my own. I have a mutant ghost-eyed bear anyway. If I eat it slowly, it could last me 3 to 5 months. Hansen put the mutant ghost-eyed bear on his back. Fine, 100 million. I will purchase this mutant ghost-eyed bear. Zuruyun gritted her teeth and said. What she needed was for Hansen to kill the ghost-eyed bears. If Hansen really hid somewhere and enjoyed the food for himself, that would defeat the purpose. The price is no longer 100 million. It is 200 million now. Hansen's reply made Zuruyun want to strangle him. 200 million is fine. However, it is impossible for me to bring so much money to God's sanctuary. I can write you a promissory note and the Starry Group will pay you in the alliance. It did not matter how many promissory notes she wrote Hansen at this point, because the rescue team from the Starry Group would not let Hansen live. Sorry, I only take cash. Hansen turned Zuruyun down and looked her up and down. Although, you could pay me with beast souls as well. What do you propose? Zuruyun felt a stronger incentive to kill him. The market price for a sacred blood beast soul would be around 100 or 200 million. So I would say a sacred blood beast soul for a mutant ghost-eyed bear, Hansen said to Zuruyun. 5 primitive beast souls for the mutant ghost-eyed bear, suggested Zuruyun. 5 mutant beast souls are more like it, said Hansen, blinking. After bargaining, Zuruyun was able to trade a mutant beast soul for the mutant ghost-eyed bear, which pleased Hansen. Both from a mutant creature, a beast soul was worth a lot more than the meat. In other places, this would be an impossible deal. As for the sacred blood beast soul, Hansen knew that Zuruyun would never give him that in the first place. He left the cave soon after and did not want to stay in the same place with these people. Zuruyun could not help walking toward Fushan. Fushan, are you okay with him doing whatever he wants? She was not trying to blame Fushan, but only wanted an answer. Look closely at the body of the mutant ghost-eyed bear, said Fushan calmly. Zuruyun was dazed and walked toward the body of the mutant ghost-eyed bear. The rest of the group also approached the body, trying to understand what Fushan meant. Very soon, they all became silent. The ghost-eyed bear was only cut in the throat and was not hurt anywhere else. It was obvious that it was killed with one blow, before it could make any struggle. Everyone was shocked. To kill a mutant ghost-eyed bear in such a clean way was something incredible. Going into the ghost-eyed bear habitat alone, killing a mutant ghost-eyed bear with one blow and coming back with the body safe and sound, he is not someone we should view as an enemy, explained Fushan quietly. Normally speaking, a mutant ghost-eyed bear would not stay too far away from a sacred blood one. Zuruyun could not imagine how Hansen managed to do that. So what? He is also trapped on this island now. When the rescue team comes, he will not be able to fly away, thought Zuruyun cruelly. After leaving the cave, Hansen flew to a high mountain and observed the entire island. When he tried to blackmail Zuruyun, he felt something odd in her reactions. Hansen was asking for a ridiculous price, both to blackmail and to test her. Zuruyun's reactions and some details in her behavior made Hansen believe that the island must be special. Hansen did not believe that someone like Zuruyun would pay such a high price and be so tolerant just to have a nice meal. Very likely their destination was this island in the first place. She probably wants something related to these ghost-eyed bears, otherwise she should not be so interested in them. Hansen was more and more confident in his guess. As a great assassin, he knew how to read people, and he could tell a lot from what Zuruyun had said and done. There was not much special about the habitat of the ghost-eyed bears. When Hansen went to hunt the bears, he had explored the place as well. There was nothing other than the ghost-eyed bear group, which only had one sacred blood king among them. It was impossible for Zuruyun to make this trip just to hunt the sacred blood ghost-eyed bear. No sacred blood creature in the world was worth so much trouble. In addition, Hansen knew from the fact that they could not do anything about the ghost-eyed bear that they did not come here for this specific creature. Otherwise, if they prepared well and had enough tools, it would not be that difficult to hunt the sacred blood ghost-eyed bear. If they did not come here for the ghost-eyed bear, but for something related to the ghost-eyed bear. Hansen pondered, touching his nose. He suddenly thought of something. Maybe it's for that. Hansen flew higher into the sky for an overlook of the bear habitat. Going higher and higher, Hansen thought he must be right. The mountains on the island were layered. Watching from above, they looked like a giant lotus, with each mountain resembling a petal. The ghost-eyed bears lived in the center. That's it. Hansen was overjoyed when looking at the odd shape of mountains. The only place that would guarantee a beast soul in God's sanctuary was the nest of creatures, in addition to the mystery island. The number of creatures in God's sanctuary was almost unlimited. In an area, even if all the creatures were killed, new creatures would appear before long. Humans had done extensive research on this and concluded that most creatures did not come from their own reproduction, but somewhere humans called nests. These nests were usually hidden tens of thousands of feet underground. Once in a while, a large number of creatures would be born from the nest. Humans were still not sure how the creatures arrived at different locations in God's sanctuary. In a random expedition, some people found a nest that was exposed on the ground for some reason. After some exploration, they found that in each nest, there would be an egg. If one were to break that egg, one would get a beast soul for sure. The egg itself was not dangerous, but normally speaking, there would be many creatures living in the nest, which made it difficult to go all the way into the nest and break the egg. The nest on the surface had one significant feature, always located in a type of terrain called the life lotus. The life lotus was formed by layered mountains, and the entrance to the nest was always located in the center of the lotus. However, the entrance to the nest was occupied by the group of ghost-eyed bears. Zuruyun and others did not expect this to happen, and thus failed to enter the nest. Hansen did not realize that the reason that the group had not entered the nest yet was mainly because they had lost most of their equipment on the ocean, under the attack of marine beasts. Since you had failed, I should probably go first. Hansen was considering how to enter the nest with great joy. Originally, he wanted to hunt some ghost-eyed bears and gain more mutant beast souls from Zuruyun. Knowing that this was a nest, he would not hurt the ghost-eyed bears anymore. Undoubtedly, these ghost-eyed bear were the best watchdogs. With them here, the group would never be able to enter the nest, and Hansen could look for the egg peacefully inside. Well done, Zuruyun. You tried to lure me to kill more mutant ghost-eyed bears and you could enter this nest. Hansen smirked secretly. Unfortunately, I already know your plan and you shall be disappointed. Hansen landed on the mountain and sneaked toward the center of the life lotus. He had been there once, and would be able to enter the nest without alarming the ghost-eyed bears. As for the sacred blood ghost-eyed bear, Hansen prepared to kill it after breaking the egg. Obviously, these ghost-eyed bears did not live in the nest. Their occupation of the surrounding area was merely a coincidence. Hansen used the color shifter to move slowly to the entrance. After more than an hour, he was in front of the nest. Like what was described on the Skynet, the nest was a stone cave going straight down like a well. The stones were black and smooth, and the entrance was so narrow that only one adult could pass at a time. Hansen did not hesitate before sliding down. With a fall of 12 feet, his feet touched the ground. In front of his eyes appeared a path zigzagging down. Surrounding him were black stones, among which there were many gleaming green crystals. Although they looked dismal, it was still much better than darkness. People called these crystals green gold, which could be seen everywhere in nests. They were not harmful to health, but were not useful in any way either. Hansen decided to be careful and summoned his phantom ant armor, protecting himself thoroughly, and slowly walking down the winding path. According to the Skynet, the length of this path should be around 8 miles. Normally speaking, there would be no creature on this path. Hansen did not dare to fully trust the Skynet and was still being wary. However, the Skynet was right this time and he did not see a single creature on the way. When he finally saw a wall of green gold blocking his way, Hansen knew he had arrived at the destination. He grabbed the diamond sword, took a deep breath, and slashed the sword at the wall. That will be all for now. I hope you find this story interesting. Leave a like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you won't miss the next part of this story. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.